This is All Figured Out. I'm Andrea Barr. I'm a career coach for parents, a mom of two, and I absolutely believe that you can continue to grow personally and professionally while protecting family time. We're about to figure out this work, life, and parenting stuff out together. Welcome back to the All Figured Out podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Barr, and I am joined by who I would refer to as my friend and coworker, Lauren. I was going to say Scapolati. That's your maiden name.
My old maiden name.
Your old stomping name, Naderi. Is that pronounced Naderi?
Yeah, well, Naderi. We'll go with
Naderi.
that.
Naderi. It's
E-R-I.
It's Farsi?
Persian.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, yeah. You're like, I don't know if the last name itself is like in a different language, but
Yeah,
that's the last
it
name.
could be if you're speaking Farsi, I suppose. Not me. I can't take any credit for that. That's all the husband. But
Okay. And how would he pronounce it? Or his like family?
Naderi, I would say. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. That's like me butchering it. I'm sure there's in their like beautiful Persian accent, they would say it in a different way, but I'm not.
Did you ever listen to my episode with Cheyenne, the trainer?
Yes.
And we practiced so much before, and his last name's Vakenagard. And I'm not even pronouncing
that's not
it.
bad.
Thank you. We were practicing again this past weekend. We were at the park together. But it is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful language.
But it's like it's like the sounds exactly.
Yes. We have a German friend that was at the park with us. It was just like a bunch of like neighborhood, I don't know, peeps. And we got him to say it. And Cheyenne's like, yeah, you can do it because you have the...
Yeah, you need. I know, which I don't have 1 ounce of that in my language.
If you're watching this on YouTube and you're looking at Lauren, you're like, yeah, you don't have that.
Yeah, they're like, no, you don't. Don't try.
Welcome to the show. So let's give some context as to who you are, why you're here, what the hell this episode's going to even be about.
I know. They're like, who is this person?
A wee bit different than usual.
Sure is.
Lauren and I go way back. This is the most way back we're going to go on the podcast.
I know.
We've known each other
since we want to go back?
Grade 5?
Yeah. 5.
Since we were 10 years old?
You
You have a late birthday, though, too, don't you?
April.
Oh, well, sorry I missed your birthday.
I mean, early-ish.
Not late at all. It's going to say 9, maybe. We've known each other since we were 10. We went to the same all-girls school in a little town in Ontario. And it was such an interesting journey of like reconnecting, which I think is such a cool thing. I don't really keep in touch with, day to day or week to week with like a lot of people from school. We had a class of 35.
There wasn't that many of us. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And then I started following your journey as you were going from holistic nutrition. You were in marketing like I was, holistic nutrition, into design. And I was like, she's made for this.
Made for a unconventional path.
Everything always makes sense. Come on, you listen to the show.
In retrospect, it does. You're right. Yes.
The journey makes sense.
Yes.
And you just have such beautiful taste. One might call you, I would call you a taste maker.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
And you have Lauren Naderi Design Home. What was the brand?
Design.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And so, long story short, I don't know if this is going to get rambly, but long story short, Lauren and I reconnected. We were doing a bit of coaching work together. You were in between, like, making some big pivots and everything like that. And then, as it happens, either I become friends, we were already friends, or I like want to work with the person I'm coaching. And I was like, well, based on your career path you're mapping out here, like, do you want to support me? So long story short, you have helped me in different capacities in my work, given your marketing background, your taste-making abilities. And now we have re-engaged our work together, and we were talking earlier today that it just feels like the time is right.
Totally. Yes, it does.
And what am I missing in this story?
I think you nailed it. I think that's it. It's been a couple years. I feel like we were really starting to coach when I was leaving my corporate role just after Ever was born. So a couple years ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how old is she now?
She's turning 4. So, it's been a ride, but yeah. So, and I'm so excited to be working with you and supporting you in the business that you've built. It's been incredible to watch you grow and your journey and do all these amazing things. I wish we were closer. I'm in Ontario, but closer in terms of proximity, but one day
it'd be nice if we could like be better friends or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we were closer, that'd be kind of nice. It's kind of weird, but it's been such a fun way to connect in terms of supporting you and you allowing or helping me, be flexible in my work. Like I feel like I'm in this flexible time of work, and it just was our paths aligned and the stars aligned, and it's been so fun, and I've just loved it. And I'm excited for this new chapter where we get to just chit chat on here. Gosh, I love this. Like, I just want to listen to podcasts where people chit chat about mom life all day long. So
yes. What do you think is the word that people are using now? Is it gab or is it yap?
Oh,
or is there a difference?
I think it's yap. Like, I think the young, maybe the Gen Z term is yap. Like, this and yap is the the phrase.
Yes,
like, I don't know if I've heard gab, and maybe from maybe we would say that.
Oh no, I definitely think I've used it.
I mean, I would say it. I still say gal. I'm like, hey gal. I'm like, I don't think that's the right
lady.
Term. Hey lady. I mean, I like that. Yeah,
I like that too. God, So yes, so Laura and I have we got back together.
We did.
We've re-engaged after, like, I was like going hard on doing breakfast club things, which like you've validated my ideas and things like that, but it's hard obviously from afar to support. You have been
that looks like such a magical gathering, the breakfast club. I'm obsessed with that.
Yes. And you've been doing really cool things with your design. Like, you've been like re-upping on like some of your school and programming.
Yeah.
You've been doing like home organization work and things like that. So we both just took different paths for like, I don't know, 6 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're coming back. We are so fired up. And one thing we both have noticed that is a gap in the market, if you will, in the podcast airwaves, is a yap. And so
we all need it.
No, it's not just going to be like this for the first like 7 minutes of us just like telling you history that you don't really care about.
Our 5th grade selves. Like, who wants to hear that? I don't know.
But we're going to come to you as two very different people in a similar stage of life who are moms trying to figure this stuff all out. Lauren skews more introverted. I skew more extroverted. Lauren has one beautiful daughter. She's so cute. Do you put her face on the internet? Can't remember.
It's a good question. I a little bit here and there, like not fully, but
I know. Yeah, I'm the same.
I don't know how to. I kind of am of two minds on that. Like, I used to a lot more, and then I've pulled back a little bit. But yeah,
I get it.
I feel a little bit weird about it. But
you might not ever see her face, but she's
maybe
really
not.
Cute. Trust.
If you scroll back, maybe you will. But I might have hid those ones, but
yeah. And we're just going to talk about what we're not sure. Honestly, we're not sure, but we think. And today we're going to talk about like things that we're seeing, trends, what's happening for moms out there. Not necessarily like, let's talk about like the feeding schedules and the sleeping, but like things we're going through, things that we're seeing like articles come out on. Like, there was a really cool motherhood study that was done that just came out this week, and it was talking about how, no surprise here, moms are actually like even better at their job post-motherhood, or like once they become a mother. Shocking. So shocking.
Yeah, if you want something done, you got to give it to a mom. That's it.
Give it to a mom. Just give it to the mom.
She'll do it. She'll get it done.
But then take 3 other things off her plate before you expect her to do that.
Yeah.
So
bring her
welcome.
Some food.
Yes, bring her some food. We don't have a name for this yet, but we are taking names and we're taking questions.
That's it. Those lines are open.
They're open. And okay, before we do that, Lauren, how I have like probably butchered this introduction. Tell me, how do you introduce yourselves? Like, you're on the playground at your beautiful school community, and they're like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" How do you answer that?
Question.
Or who are you when someone says like, "Who are you?"
Oh, that is a great question. And you know what? I haven't figured out a succinct and great way to talk about that yet. And it's interesting because I feel like I go back and forth between, do I talk about who I am as like just a human and a mom and what I like, or do I start with like, here's what I do? And I think interestingly, since becoming an entrepreneur, that's shifted. And I know we've talked about this, but I get a little bit tongue-tied when, to be honest, when someone's like, what do you do as an entrepreneur? Because it's like, I do a bunch of things and it's like, how much time do you have? Do you want my whole career story? And so I'm working on that. But let me start by just saying, we talked a bit about this so far, but I am a mom of a almost 4-year-old who teaches me and tests me every day, as I'm sure, my gosh, we could get into all the ways and kids and all the things husbands do that. And I'm not gonna lie, motherhood, I would say really rocked me in a lot of ways. I went through, we all go like this identity shift was huge for me. I suffered with a lot of, oh my God, I'm going way back in the archives here.
We want to know. We're also, moms are deep. We don't need the surface level. Like, oh, most beautiful gift. Like, no. How'd you deliver? C-section or vaginal?
Yeah. That's how I would talk to someone on the playground. They're like, how are you? I'm like, I'm actually, you want to hear my birth story? But it was real. The postpartum anxiety was real. The like work transition, career change at that point was also real. We moved a bunch of times in kind of a short period of time. And so I kind of lost myself in a lot of ways. And I'm only now just sort of finding it and finding that I do have an identity a little bit. And I'm starting to figure that out and find who that is. And so, in terms of career, I've had, as we talked again a little bit about earlier, I've had a few career chapters. So I started in advertising. So we share that, which
the trauma
with a trauma, I was going to say we're trauma bonded over that experience. It's funny. That's the reaction that 99% of people have as they come out of, or like they previously worked in advertising. And it's funny that that's the unanimous sentiment, which is wild. But, and then, I hopped around. I went into holistic nutrition for, a bit of time, mostly just to heal my own health and hormones. And I was having a lot of kind of health issues and funks. And so that's what led me down that path. I was working in a clinic and realized, gosh, I really love this, but I don't know if I want to be in a clinic, setting, working one-on-one all the time in this capacity. So I left it and loved it from afar. I still could talk about nutrition all day long, but it's just not, living that every day wasn't necessarily great for my nervous system. And it brought, a bunch of things up. And I just was like, okay, I'm going to leave this. And I've always loved design. And, that was sort of the next obvious chapter for me. But prior to deciding design, I was like, maybe I'll try corporate one more time. Gosh, I'm really going, like, tell me to stop talking at any time.
No, please. I knew you were going to do that. I actually knew that you were going to stop at the point and be like, shit, did I say too much?
Yeah.
No, more.
Okay, great. Let's go.
More.
I mean, I'm
even learning stuff that I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Keep going. The people want more.
People want more. So before deciding to go back to school really for interior design, I was like, I'll kick the can at corporate one more time because, we all kind of have that feeling of like, maybe I want structure and maybe I want salary and maybe I want, a routine, especially coming out of this like motherhood fog where routine was like 0%, present. So, working in a corporate job. And that's when I was like, oh boy, this lack of, and I think that's when you and I maybe started coaching where I'm like, this lack of flexibility is not working for me. And I could do a whole rant TED talk about how the working, schedule is not set up for like a parent schedule. Like there's a total mismatch. And I know you also have talked a lot about that and sort of flipping that on its head and helping people work through that, which is incredible. But I just found I was rushing to work after pickup. I was rushing to pick up after work. And everything just felt rushed and stressful. And that was partly because of the role in the environment. And, I know there's ways to kind of fix that and work around that and grow through that.
But there was
for
a
me,
lot, I will add though, there was a
Yeah.
lot that you actually couldn't, and
It's
I know
true.
you wouldn't mind me sharing this, there was a lot
Yeah.
that was very role specific and you couldn't change. And
It's
that's a
true.
huge, sometimes a fact's a fact. And you're like, okay, cool. Like it's no knock to them. Sure, maybe a knock to the patriarchy. But
Yeah.
but really there was like elements of the job that you had to be in
It's
person.
true.
And so you're
You're
like,
right.
okay, great. Like,
Cool.
good information. Yeah.
Learn this,
Yep.
and this is
Yep.
great. And it's not for me in this season of life.
Mhm.
And so I was like, that's it. I'm going all in on design. I went back to school, took a bunch of courses and classes, and it's been so fun. I'm kind of nearing the end of that journey now, but also working with design clients, and I'm loving the flexibility. I'm loving the creativity. Like I said, I've kind of always loved design and creativity, and just the way that a space and something visual makes you feel, and the impact a space can have on how you feel and how you show up. Like all of that just lights me I won't swear on this podcast, but lights me up entirely.
It's been done. It's been done.
Great. I might slip out, but so that's sort of been my journey in a nutshell. And now it's been this kind of figuring out of running my own business and growing and working with clients and working with you, which has been incredible. Like I think I'm someone, as a multi-passionate human, that loves to do a lot of things and wear a lot of hats, and design is a big piece of the puzzle, but I also love writing. I also love brand strategy. I also love, just visual identity of a brand. Like there's just so much that I love that is outside of design as well. So you and I have had so much fun working on that. And that's sort of, in a long-winded nutshell, where I am and who I am.
I love it. You're amazing. And oh my gosh, like it's so, you know what, you actually, if you were to have introduced yourself 2 years ago, I think that it would have been actually such a different introduction.
Yeah.
And I think it would have had so much, like myself 2 years ago would have been a completely different introduction. And I think it's so cool as like someone who's your friend, someone who's coached you, to just like see how easeful you sound in sharing that.
Oh,
and
I
like,
love it.
And confident without it being this like un-Lauren confidence. Also, I'm probably going to call you Lo, because in high school we used to call Lauren Lo.
Yeah.
And she's like, nobody else in my life except for what your dad calls you Lo.
Yeah, some family members occasionally, my dad a little bit.
Maybe you need to be your like podcast persona though.
I mean, I'll take it.
Okay,
I love
we'll
it.
test it. Anyways, it's you're just like, there's just this like ease. There's like this ease around how you just described yourself and like what you do and how it's all made sense. Because I know before you used to say like, God, am I just like jumping around again? Like you were hard on yourself, as we all do. It's such a relatable piece of the story of like, oh my God, am I just perpetually like, I've said this to myself, not your words. Like, am I perpetually unhappy? Am I never just going to find like the one thing I love?
Yep.
And then all of a sudden we're like, why do we have to do one thing? Clearly you weren't lit up sitting in an office.
Totally.
In a more sales capacity, design and sales, doing the one thing day in. Actually, I want to ask you, do you think if say that corporate job, say you worked at that job like 2 days a week, do you think that would have changed anything?
That's a great question. And you know what? If things were different, and without like getting too much into the details of the politics of the company, because there were lots of changes at the time and like a lot of moving pieces, and it just felt like the right time for me to leave before kind of a new structure was put in place. And maybe I would have loved that structure. I don't know, but it just felt like kind of an end of chapter and a start of a new one. And I was like, okay, this feels like a good time to leave. But that is a great question to reflect on. And I actually think, yes, I think I would have, if it was 2 days a week, I think I would have probably stayed and probably still, fit that in. And again, I think what's so cool is that we can kind of make up, I don't know, this sounds crazy, but make up our careers and make up how we want to fill up our week. And so if 2 days of the week was, a more structured environment where I do miss, the team, and I miss the office setting, and I miss, feeling like I don't miss the commute, but I just miss that routine of going in and, having the coffee and chatting and the things that like people kind of like about corporate culture.
It's actually called YAP.
It's true. And that's why we're here today. I knew that's why we were called to do this, is because that was missing in my life. And here we are.
God.
But I think I think if worlds were different and the 2-day a week was feasible, I probably would be doing that and doing what I'm currently doing. And, I feel like I just was, it's like yes, let's fit that in. So
totally. Or like a more of a runway. Like it would have given you it could have like bridged, the financial gap, for instance,
totally.
a bit more. Like,
yes,
entrepreneurship is it just feels like it's like you're either corporate or you're entrepreneur. And it's like too stark, very scary. So for some people, it's like so scary to stay in the corporate job that you loathe. And then for some people, most of us, it's like terrifying to make that leap into $0.
Yep.
Unless you build a bit of a side hustle. But as a mother, when?
Like literally when I know there's right? no, that exactly. That's, that's a major source of anxiety and stress for sure. But, you're right. It would have bridged. And to be honest, and I feel like I text you probably weekly being like, is it time to get a corporate job yet? Like, I feel like there's part of me that misses that stability. And I feel like that's normal as an entrepreneur to be like, well, what if, but I do love, again, going back, like I do love, being able to have the flexibility and the all the things that come with entrepreneurship. So.
Yeah. And you figured out a way to do it where you're like, you've said that you don't love working completely on your own. So you have built a career around working with other people who are in the organization space, working with me. And so like, that's cool too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Now a big piece of your story that we haven't touched on, and this moves into what we're deeming as the musings. Well, I wrote that. I think there's probably a cuter like Gen Z way of saying this. Honestly, fuck them.
If you're a Gen Z, I was just about to say, if you're a Gen Z listening, and then you go, fuck them. We love you.
We love you. We love you.
Also, tell us what the words are.
Yeah, please tell us what the words are.
Like,
please
we're
give
just
feedback.
Millennials. We're just little millennials here. We just need some guidance.
We're just little millennials who like feel like we're 16-year-olds with children, and we're like, it's a teen pregnancy. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Here we are. Mafe, our editor, might be borderline. And she's cool. So thank you, Mafe, for keeping us. She'll share.
Mafe.
She'll share.
Okay, great.
Okay, so this will be, maybe we'll figure out a cute name for this section, which will be like, what are we hearing? What's going on in the world that we're hearing about? I wouldn't say that I subscribe to the news or that I'm on X or that I'm on any of these areas. However, I am dabbling in the internet space. And so sometimes I start noticing, there's some trends. And the cool thing is that Lauren, as a tastemaker, is way more up on like the design and the cool stuff. And like we were talking about Substack, and I'm like, oh my God, I know the word, but like, what's a Substack? So anyways, so let's get into that section.
Love it.
And a trend that I've been seeing is people, I don't know if this is the exact phrase that they're using, but it's like, I want less house.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're feeling overwhelmed, even if it's, we're not talking mansions necessarily, but like that overwhelm of like, there's too many nooks and crannies and there's too many toys and minimalism and this and that. So you have a very relatable story to share in this realm. And this is, I would say, a very interesting piece of your story. Tell us about your journey to want less house.
It's an interesting one for sure. So Take us way back. Okay, I alluded a little bit to the fact that we've moved a couple times in the last 5 or so years. And if you ask my husband, he might say, if I, bring up the idea of moving again, there might not be a marriage anymore. I feel like he's at his limit for moves, and I totally respect and understand that. we moved a lot of times, and the most recent move, so I'll go back 2 moves. We sort of mid-COVID, not
ago.
mid-COVID, post-COVID, but like still in the thick of it, where people were like, I'm working from home, I need space, and, you know, I need a yard and a house and all the things. And that's also just sort of what we've always been, quote unquote, told is the goal and the plan for when you have a family and you know, are growing that family. So we moved out to a suburb, in, I would say 2022, 2. All the years post-COVID are blending together. Like, how is it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, anyways. So we were living in a suburb, and, we had moved out there, and, you know, we had all the space. It was 4 bedrooms. We had a playroom. We had a basement. We had a backyard. We had never had these things. And let me fast forward a little bit. In February of this year, we made the seemingly crazy decision to move back to the city. So we sat in this, you know, house in the suburbs, and I loved the process of designing it, planning it. It was like, you know, if we could just pick it up and move it, that would have been really the dream. But we thought, okay, there's, you know, kind of a void here. Like we, again, the house itself, we loved, we put all of our, you know, blood, sweat, and tears into, but we were far-ish from friends and family. My parents had grown up there, or I had grown up there. We had grown up there.
Oakville, yeah. Like an hour from Toronto, if you don't know the Ontario geography.
Yeah, exactly. And my parents had since moved out back to the city. They were way more hip than we were on the like downtown scene. Most of our friends were still in the city, and, you know, our neighbors were lovely, but it was a brand new subdivision. And so it was still kind of figuring itself out. Not a lot of community and camaraderie. And nothing was really walkable. We kind of felt isolated in a lot of ways, you know, from our friends and family, but also just like from doing stuff. Like everything required driving, which I understand is, you know, is the point of living in the suburbs. You have more space and you're not next to all these things. But we just were like, I don't think we really thought through our priorities. And I wouldn't change it, because looking back, I mean, our daughter started a school there and really loved it. And at 18 months, that was her first exposure to like a little Montessori school. And that we wouldn't have found that where we are now. And so, I mean, I think we were there for a reason. And again, I wouldn't change it, but we sat there and we're like, gosh, I don't know. Wouldn't it be crazy if we went back to the city? And initially it started as kind of a joke. And the more we talked about it, we're like, actually, you know, we miss all the things. We miss our friends and family. We miss walking to restaurants and shops. We miss the buzz of just a city and walking into a shop and meeting like a local store owner, or like walking down the street to get your bread, or like we missed all those things. And it sounds like I'm romanticizing it. I mean, there's definitely pros to suburb versus cons of city and vice versa. But, you know, as we sat down, we're like, gosh, all the things that we kind of love, we don't have here.
And did you, when you were planning the house, sorry to interrupt, when you were planning the house,
did those things?
Were you pregnant? No, not at all. Were you pregnant, or did you already have ever? Like, how does the parenthood phase?
Yeah, good question. I'm like trying to think of all the timelines. She was born in the previous house. We had a little Toronto house, but when I say Toronto, it was like a Etobicoke, and you know what? We always laughed that we like maybe leaving there was not the right move at the time, but it was this tiny little Toronto row house, and the area itself wasn't what we wanted it to be from a school perspective. And so, so she was born in that house, and then she was maybe 1 by the time we moved to Oakville, or to the suburbs. And, we stayed there for about 2 years, and then in February moved back to the city. But here's the kicker. It's a condo in the city that we went for, which is really where everyone looks at us like we're nuts.
And how many square feet?
Under 1,000. Under 1,000 square feet. Like I think 900 on a good day.
And what was the square footage of the house in Oakville?
Oh gosh, almost 3,000. Yeah. Yeah, it was a big change.
Yeah.
So, as I've learned throughout this process, and going back, so we say that to someone and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what are you, like, have we regressed?" And like, not that a condo is less than a house, but it's typically in the typical trajectory of life, the stepping stone as you're young, pre-family, and then you move out to a house, and that's not always the case. And what's interesting is in Toronto, that seems to be what typically the condo demographic, but in other cities, New York, all over Europe, like it's kind of normal to live in a small space. So anyways, there's I feel like I could go on lots of tangents here, but we moved in February, and it's been honestly the best thing in the whole world, which I didn't know. We honestly didn't know. We're like, are we crazy? Is this could we move again after this? I don't know. But, we love the area. We're in a neighborhood that, we didn't really think we could live in a house perspective in, because we love it and we've always loved it. It's next to this huge park that we spend a lot of time in. It's next to kind of a main walking strip that we love. It's close to family. And so the location itself, we love. We found a great school. But condo living, I didn't realize how much I missed it. Like, I lived in a condo in my 20s, and university, just post-university, like pre-marriage. And gosh, it's been the best. Like, the rooftop, the gym, the garbage chute, like things that you don't really think about. I'm like, I don't take the garbage out. Like, no garbage day. It's just the friggin' best.
The diaper, if there was a diaper, imagine the garbage chute.
There should be a third, or a fourth, like the compost, the recycle, the garbage, and then just diaper chute. There's actually a couple, and we need to, the people that we've met in the building are lovely and wonderful. There's a couple kids, which is exciting. And there's a little playroom, sort of multi-purpose room on the main floor that we just love spending time in. So it's been the best thing for us. And if I've learned nothing else, it's that I think smart storage, really can be more important and impactful than square footage. So we've gotten really creative and crafty with where we store everything and the cabinetry that we've built, and just making sure everything has a home. It just feels like we're living so much more intentionally. We don't have crap in rooms that we don't, everyone does, but we, had rooms in the house that we never used, and it just became kind of this junk pile up. And so now, you have two things by the door, and it just looks like your whole space is, cluttered and messy. And so, and my type A brain is like, must move all so everything has a home, everything has a space. And I'm sounding like a real joy, aren't I?
That's cool though. I think that's really interesting, because it's like people feel overwhelmed because they're like, I have too much stuff. And maybe that's the case. I would say there's times when it feels like our house looks like it makes me feel like we have too much stuff. And then when I'm running around trying to throw things out, I'm like, fuck, there's nothing left to throw out or donate.
Yeah.
And the problem is the storage. And I remember talking to my girlfriend who renovated a house and walking around her house. And I was like, wow, this is so beautiful and so peaceful. And then I was like, oh, right. It's the millwork, which for some people, millwork is very expensive. I understand that.
Yeah.
But could you go into a space that's maybe more affordable and actually spend more money on stuff like millwork, which, I don't know, you tell me, that's what creates really good intentional cupboards and closets. And my mom was just saying this the other day. She's like, they're doing a bit of a reno on their 30-year-old bathroom. And she's like, and the closet. And she's like, everything is going to be behind doors and drawers. No more open shelves. And I was like, right.
Yeah.
Good point.
It makes such a difference. And you nailed it. That's been our theme throughout. So we bought the condo and then we renovated it, and did a lot of stuff in it to make it work for our lifestyle and our needs. And that's exactly it. We're like, this is a smaller space. We're buying less material. So let's really make that whether it's material or, custom cabinetry and millwork or wallpaper, like let's make it really intentional and thoughtful and like put our money into that versus an extra bedroom that like maybe a guest will stay in occasionally. And so, and I understand obviously we only have the one child and we have a little dog that's small. And so I get that like if we were growing our family and had intentions and plans on doing that, maybe, we would have to look into obviously another bedroom and more space. But we're, I think, kind of content where we are. And we're like, let's just make it kind of make it suit our lifestyle and our needs and our, we need XYZ storage by the door. Let's make, drawers there and like organize the heck out of those drawers so that every time we open them, it's there and it's not lost somewhere in the house. So yeah, so that was the theme of, and maybe that's how I told Nick, my husband, how I justified certain things. I'm like, oh, it's such a small bathroom. Like we've got to use marble and wallpaper. And he's like, oh my gosh, if you use that excuse one more time. But really, I mean, if it's a tiny space, let's just go all out. So it's been wild. And I think still people look at us like we're a little bit nuts, but it's been such an awesome transition. And I would 10 out of 10 recommend if you're on the fence about moving to an area you love, but it means a smaller square footage or smaller footprint. Yeah.
Well, I think you're hitting on like, I don't know, going back to kind of like the trend or like why other people might be feeling this too. There are so many factors that you said were at play, like the fact that family is now closer, like your parents are down the road, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're also an only child. And so it's like, they probably have a lot of like mental space for you and your family to like come and play with and like friends being around and like the fact that you guys like to walk to get your baguette or whatever. I can't remember if you're gluten-free, so whatever.
Yeah. I found some good gluten-free baguettes since being here or sourdough loaves, which is the best. Yeah.
Perfect. But there's so much to it. And I think that like 36-year-old Lauren is probably like just so much more confident in that decision because like you've lived it. Also, do you think that there's something about like, okay, maybe if you went from Etobicoke to this condo, do you think that you could have created the intentionality in the same way of the space?
Mm-mm. That's such a good way to look at it. And I don't think so. Because in Etobicoke, we had a totally different mindset. We were in, and you know what's interesting is if we, and we were thinking this as we were doing the condo renovation. In Etobicoke, we had slightly more square footage. It was still a small, kind of typical Toronto home. Like kind of long and skinny with not a lot of storage. There weren't a lot of closets and the rooms were quite small. And so we don't actually have the square footage difference, not that much between that house and this house. And we were bursting at the seams. Like that's why we left that house. We're like, gosh, we have so much stuff. We need a playroom. We need a garage. We need, an extra room for people to sit. Like we had this whole list of things we needed. And it was wild because once we had those things, we're like, wait, like we don't actually A, use these things, and B, now I just feel like I have this like too much stuff. Like I have this overwhelming sense of like, oh my gosh, we have a garage full of stuff. We have a, guest room full of stuff, and it just stuff accumulated. And so it was the most cathartic exercise to be like, donate, toss, like get rid of all this. And it was the best. But I mean, my wardrobe did have to take a hit, and I do sadly have to purge like maybe every 2 weeks or so, which I actually enjoy. Like I go through and I'm like,
every 2 weeks is so out of control.
It's diabolical. Like it's insane. Like Nick's like, why do we have another garbage bag of clothes? And I'm like, I just need to make room. And typically it's more often than not, it's to make room for new things, which is not the goal. But we've had to get really crafty with clothing storage, and that's been truthfully the hardest part of it. But it's been good. I get to be a little more intentional with what I keep and what I donate. But
so good. So good. Oh my gosh. It is such an interesting story. And I don't think I've ever heard someone go, like, I've never listened to a podcast where someone's actually talked about that process or that thought process or the experience of like doing that. And okay, would you consider yourself a minimalist?
No.
See, that's what I also think is interesting about this, because you're not some like minimalist freak who's like,
no, I'm actually a maximalist, I think. Like, I think I'm the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm a, you know what I am? This has to be a new term. I'm a maximalist, but I don't even have a term for it, but I get rid of a lot of stuff. I'm a non-sentimental maximalist. And so I'm quick to get rid of.
You're a newist.
I'm a newist. Which is probably not the opposite of like the essence of minimalism. It's like to not be wasteful and to not buy and consume. But
you like a vintage, don't you?
I like a vintage. I for sure love a vintage.
You're not necessarily like an H&M haul kind of girly.
No. I'm a like
you like the environment.
Totally. I like the environment. The environment's okay. I'm pretty good to it. I try to be. But you're right. I'm not like a big. I bought like 50 t-shirts, and now I'm like a one in, like, I'll buy, a t-shirt or a sweater in an XYZ color category. And then if I find something better, I'll buy the better, like in terms of maybe it fits better, maybe it's a better quality, maybe, it's a slightly better color. And then I'll donate the previous. And so I'm like a one in, one out kind of maximalist.
Okay, as our new in resident tastemaker, and everyone needs. What is your handle again? At Lauren Naderi.
Yeah, no, and now it's Lauren Naderi Design.
Okay. And wait, how do you spell it? Naderi. Okay.
Yes,
Lauren spelled the normal way. Naderi Design. Follow Lauren, because you've done some, like, you have such a beautiful mix. It's like what it's what I and my friends want to follow, is like a mom who has style, who likes nice middle tier things. You're not like a designer handbag girly who's like, look at my new, like, whatever Hermes bag. But like, you're like intentionality, etc. So anyways, what if you were to say, what is one thing, it doesn't be trend or just like piece that could really make a mom feel good in her wardrobe? Like, let's talk about like clothing. Like, what's something that you're really like enjoying right now? Because I find you're quite ahead of the curve.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
One thing, you know what? Lately, I've been feeling like I can't get enough of, it's going to sound crazy, but pull-on pants.
Did not expect you to go there.
I just love pants lately. Like, in case anyone's wondering what the trend is, it's pants.
Specifically pull-on stretchy waist? Is that what we're talking? Jeggings?
No, not jeggings. But there's been, on the fashion Substacks of the world, there's been this like big, I feel like, movement towards like a pull-on, especially for summer, like a drawstring, and it's poplin or it's cotton or it's like taffeta if you're getting really trendy and fun. But there's like, I feel like just ease, like bringing ease into the wardrobe is now, or into the like, I don't know, at least that's my word, because I feel like, how many minutes do we have to get ready in the morning? Not many. And we want to look put together, but we want to feel comfortable, obviously. That's like the equation of mom dressing. And so I feel, for me at least, feeling put together is like a pull-on pant, which sounds way less sexy than it is.
There needs to be a better word for it. I'm just picturing like an old man gray sweatpant that's like a bit stained in the crotch.
Oh my gosh, that is not quite the look.
Wait. Also, do we have to iron these or steam these?
No.
Okay. Sorry, keep going.
Am I selling you?
Yep.
I'd say there's a couple brands that have, like, I don't know, been on the scene in terms of going viral with different pant styles, or like these different versions of this pull-on look, I guess. And there's a whole bunch, like I just got some from the Gap, and they're the best things ever, but they're like a dupe for like, a Lisette $500 pair. But they're basically like a poplin pull-on drawstring, and it just feels like it's so comfortable. Obviously, you're wearing basically an elevated sweatpant, and they're straight leg. They're not tapered. They're not like overly wide and baggy. Although maybe that's the look if you'll love that. But yeah, and then with like just like a t-shirt or, you know, any kind of like, I love a long sleeve. Like I just feel like with any topic kind of, it like feels a little more elevated than like just or more interesting than just like a pair of jeans. And I love a pair of jeans. Like, oh my God, I live in jeans, but I feel like that's what I'm buying these days. I actually, oh my gosh, talk about maximalism and consumption. I may or may not have taken 5 pairs of pants to the tailor today. And the girl that, was helping me was like, 5? And I'm like, She's like, okay, you gotta stop buying pants. But they were all kind of this pull-on style, which like it speaks to, I guess, how many varieties there are. Or maybe I'm just a psycho and I buy multiples of the same thing. But one was like this like chartreuse green, one was blue, one was like brown silk. So you can get all these kind of different styles and have, I mean, who doesn't want an elastic waistband? Hello.
Oh,
like it's just the best thing ever. And they look elevated and they're so cute and they like show a little ankle. You can wear a cute shoe. Anyways, that's
I feel like you could dress it up or down. If you're a sneaker girl, you could wear a sneaker.
Yeah.
If you like a kitten heel. It's so funny you said the tailor because I was actually going to ask you, like, how do you fare with the length of said pants? Flo is approximately 5 foot. What? 1, 2?
1, maybe 1.
Yeah. Like
if I'm lucky.
I'm
pushing
she's
one.
She's a wee one. She's a wee one.
Yeah.
Always has been.
Always has been. Always will be.
So you keep the tailors in business.
I keep them in business. Literally, I take 5 pairs.
Hot tip.
Yeah.
They're like, you got a problem. You're maximalist.
You got a problem, but keep coming back, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we're going to put all those links in the show notes.
Yeah.
And another thing we probably don't have time for, but we are going to dabble in the Substack.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Let's just tell them. Let's tell them.
We got to tell them.
We got to tell them. And I feel like the Substack is also a fun place where we can be putting links to stuff that like Lauren or sometimes myself could be sharing.
You've got some good links. I feel like I
got good links.
You got good links.
You know what? I got good links. I got a good shoe reco. Ooh, I don't remember the name now. What is it called? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's Canadian. It is a brand that I hadn't heard of before. I just saw it at Pacific Center in Vancouver, the mall, and it was a standalone store.
Is it like a type of shoe?
It's like, I'm sorry, it's like it's like not a Steve Madden. It's like better because I have such a problem with Steve Madden. They'll never be a sponsor for the show because I have had the worst shoe and customer service experience.
Tell us how you feel. Oh my gosh.
I probably shouldn't be throwing sponsors under the bus before I even really have sponsors.
You will never pay us.
She's calling it out. Okay, wait. Shoes.
You know that if Steve Madden becomes a sponsor, that Andrea is just selling out to that.
100. You know things are dire.
Dire.
When I sell out to Steve Madden. Oh my gosh, everyone, share your Steve Madden.
You know what, Steve
woes.
Madden, I like.
Steve Madden.
They do a good dupe, though. I can't speak to their customer service, but they do a dupe of every
that will last
designer
you for 6 months, though.
You're right.
Yep. Brutal. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, listeners. I am sharing a brand that I cannot remember. This is so crazy.
It's like when your friend says, I have to tell you something, but I can't tell you.
Oh my God, it's the worst. And they even sell them at Simon's.
Oh, I love Simon's.
Simon's
is slept on.
Wow, I was in Simon's yesterday.
Do they have one in Vancouver?
Yes, they have one in West Vancouver. And this just in, I saw on the news that there was a massive, I don't know if you, there was a massive Nordstrom downtown Vancouver. And the Nordstrom is gone. Is that what it was? Or the Bay? Oh, crap.
Both of them.
Okay, both of them. Or maybe it was both. Now I'm really making all sorts of shit up. But Simon's.
There was a store that existed and is now there.
This is such a bad story. Dolce Vita.
Oh, yes. We love Dolce Vita.
I only just heard of it.
Yeah.
They're so comfortable. Seems like way better quality. It's actual leather if you subscribe to leather. Anyways, Simon's is going to be going in along with a huge flagship Aritzia downtown Vancouver. And anyways, I was in Simon's yesterday and I was like, you know what? This is it's cool that French Canadian culture and Quebec definitely does still, even though the French came over in the 1500s, they still actually do have that European flair.
I was wondering where you were going with this.
You're are we now a history podcast? This is so unhinged.
pull-on pants
to Dolce
French
Vita.
settlers.
Took me 10 minutes to figure that out. But like everything
you're
was
still
colorful.
here with us. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. We'll be here next week, maybe. Anyways, go to Simon's, get your pull-on pants.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Yeah.
I bet they have pull-on pants here. This episode,
100%.
this episode's going to be called Pull-on Pants and Other Musings.
I can't pull myself together right now.
No.
They probably, you know what? I can look at Simon's and find some pull-ons for you. I know.
It's getting better.
Aritzia also has some. So if we are an Aritzia shopper, they've got some got some good ones. They've got linen ones. They've got
Lauren knows
poplin.
the staff there. Lauren knows the staff on a first name basis.
Literally. It's not good.
Okay, linen, poplin, we like that.
Yeah.
We like Simon's, we like Dolce Vita. What we don't like, Steve Madden.
We will update you with a new list next week.
And we clearly don't like sponsors because I'm already... Oh my God.
Where do we go from here? Substack. We glazed over Substack, but we're going to be
Tastemaker Lauren, tell us about Substack. For those listening who are like, what's a sub? What's a stack?
I love Substack. I mean, I don't know if I'm like it's slowly become bigger and bigger, but lately I've been feeling, I don't know anyone else, but I've been feeling this pull to long form content that feels like it has a bit more depth, a bit more realness. Like I love an Instagram. I mean,
like this episode, minute 50.
Minute 50, we're talking about pull on
pants. If you're still here, you're going to like Substack.
You're going to love Substack. I've got a platform for you. And maybe it's in response to my TikTok rabbit holes where I'm just like, it's like too quick and it's too like anxiety inducing. Yeah. I know it's too much. Gen Zs, let us know if you're on Substack. I think interestingly, I'm seeing, I don't know, maybe it's just what I'm reading, but it's like, I don't know, like-minded community. And it's just this like camaraderie and it's so lovely. Not that Gen Zs, you don't love a community and camaraderie. That's not the, you're getting, we love you. We promise.
We love you. You're probably not listening either.
You're probably not listening, but if you are, just, and so I'm finding with Substack, there's nothing better lately than this like new newsletter popping into my inbox. I drop Ever off. I come home before I start my work day. I'm like, I'm going to have a coffee and read this like new article that just was written by, my favorite Substacker that I love. It's almost like if a magazine and a blog and MySpace had a baby, which is like the coolest baby in the whole world.
Millennial baby. That's a millennial baby.
That's a millennial baby, if I've ever heard one.
And how long are you talking? Like it's not like a New York Times article or like,
it sometimes can be. Like, and what's cool is, and I guess online publications also do this, but it'll say how many minutes the article is. So it'll say like the title of it, it'll give you like a couple lines of a teaser, and then it'll say like 6 minutes, 8 minutes. And so you can gauge, is this like a quick 1 minute read, or is it like I'm sitting down and it's like a 10-minute? Like I just, there's one creator that I love who's based in Paris, and her whole Substack is dedicated. Her name's Frosso, Frosso, and her whole Substack is dedicated to like her, I'm going to use this word again, musings in Paris, and she like people watches in Paris. And so it's all about like what Parisians, like the one today was, how to walk 20,000 steps in Paris. And it's like she brought in all these other Substackers that shared what they would wear in Paris if they were there on a vacation. Or the last one was like shoes that Parisians are wearing to like walk forever and ever. And so some of them are long, some of them are short, and they're always, you're laughing at my,
no, do you know what I'm laughing at? Is like, I was about to throw shade at Steve Madden again.
You're not walking 20,000 steps in Steve Madden, that's for sure.
Only 3 days and then you'd be throwing them out.
Parisians don't wear Steve Madden. That's
what do they wear? Like, what was like some of the essence?
Well,
they're so chic.
They're so chic. I know.
Like a New Balance?
Yeah, more like a Solomon, I feel like, if we're going to do like a sneaker. I feel like a Solomon is big. And maybe that's also just throughout Europe and like in the Scandinavian countries. But I feel like Solomons are having their moment, which are so funny because they're like hiking shoes and they're
so bizarre.
I know. But I have to admit I have a pair and they're comfortable AF. So, I mean,
My girlfriend Sarah, if you're listening, she's got a pair that's like the I don't know, drawstring again.
With the string. Yeah.
She's pregnant, gonna have another babe C-section. So I'm like, wow, like, so she's looking trendy. Yeah. And I'm like, this is like actually very smart.
So
to be
smart.
Very pregnant and to have another baby coming.
Yes.
I just bought a pair of New Balance because they were just like cute and have this like scalloping on it. We'll share the link to them. They're really cute and they're comfy.
I love a New Balance. And I feel like New Balance and Adidas still do such good colors.
Yes.
And so I love a colorful
They're a
sneaker.
millennial beige too, so you know.
I mean, we love a millennial beige. It goes with everything.
We love it.
I love millennial beige.
I love it. Okay, Substack.
So Substack, we're trying, we're getting on there. And if you like long form content, let us know, because I feel like there could be so much fun stuff that we talk about and share and link to. And, you know, there's a lot of parenting stuff on there. There's a lot of mom stuff on there. And it just feels so nice to be in a like-minded community. And then there's within each Substack, I promise this is the last thing I'll say about Substack, and then I'll stop. But there's also little chats that are dedicated to each, like there'll be like an all figured out. If there's an all figured out Substack, there'll be an all figured out chat. And we can just like chit chat in there. People send links, people ask questions. And it's like this fun kind of group of like amazing women that are all excited by similar things. Like it's just, if you're reading the same Substack, you're, you know, maybe just as excited about me as the new cobalt blue pants or pull-on pants.
The drawstring pants, the pull-on pants.
I mean, we could chat on there if you want about but it's fun.
It's so fun. And Lauren has always been a beautiful writer. So and I also am a bit of a bottleneck in my own business. So I'm so happy that like some of these ideas can actually like come to fruition, and by somebody who is more qualified to be leading the charge in this like editorial side of things. So I'm so pumped for what we can do here. I think it's gonna be so fun and like
it's gonna be so
visual
fun.
And just different. I think we're all like a little bit, we're still kind of like changed to the Instagrams of the world. And I do like Instagram, but craving of something a bit different. Like this is a very long form. And then Instagram is a very short form. And then there's like TikTok when I'm waiting for my kids to fall asleep, because that's just my little fun moment to keep in the know.
Yep.
And then there is something possibly missing. And Lo and I were talking earlier about how if I was still in corporate, I need a long form to peruse while I'm drinking my coffee. Like I'm going to have a chat. I'm going to get my coffee and my water. I'm going to set up my desk, and I can't jump into the emails. I got to like, God, my nerdy old self used to read like Harvard Business Review, but like then back in the day, I used to read like Cupcakes and Cashmere with Emily Schumann, and I used to read some of these.
Remember those OG bloggers? That's exactly what Substack has become. It's the OG.
But it's all in one place.
It's all in one place, and it's like from all like there could be like, you know, us talking about pull-on pants, but then there's also like the real shit that you need to talk about. It's oh my God, what was that? Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm in my little co-working space, and there was a loud boom outside. But it's like the real shit where we're talking about like, you know, here, my kid had a tantrum today in the grocery store, and here's how I handled it. And this is what I wish I did differently. Like there's stuff that we, you know, I just read this amazing article about, a mom that was talking about, and I related to this so much, but like sensory input and like, and how, you know, different kids react to different, like whether, they get really quiet or they get really rambunctious, and it's like how to navigate that and what might be triggering that, and what, like, it's so interesting. And it's not that anyone's necessarily an expert, but it's, and there's for sure experts in their field on there, but it's just like real people talking about stuff that you maybe care about. Yeah.
That's
it's fun.
So cool.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited about this format. Only let us know if you're really, really against it. But I think I love this yap. And this is going to be fun.
I promise I won't. Like, you'll only hear from me occasionally. There's still going to be the real episodes where it's like the real, you know, the stuff that
hard-hitting journalism
that we all need in our lives. I mean, every time your podcast comes out, I'm like listening right away with bells on, and it's the best thing ever. So that's still gonna take place and happen, and you'll just hear from my annoying self occasionally when we want to yap. And if there's things that you want us to yap about, you got to tell us.
Yes, because there's something very weird about me yapping on my own. I do it occasionally.
I love it.
And I have shared, I don't love it unless it's like in a capacity of like, okay, let's talk about this like one specific thing I can kind of teach you a thing or two about that's in my realm as a career coach for parents.
Yeah.
But like me yapping about pull-on pants, like I don't know how that would land.
I don't know how it's going to land if I'm talking about pull-on pants. Yeah, I don't know if that's a yappable topic, but
let us know.
Let us know.
But we might just do it anyway.
Just do it anyways. But then we'll talk about, you know, something else. We're talking about
the real. Well, you know what? We're going to have to cut this off here. We have 20 seconds until we are officially at 1 hour.
Wow.
Thank you.
If you're here still.
I know.
Love you.
We love you. We love you. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, listener, however many of you are left.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. And this is exciting. This is an exciting new chapter, and we will see you soon.
Yeah. Bye.